21st century singer, actually at the heart and the root of this is 19th century Italian singing technique.
Technique is of paramount importance, solid technique. Taking the use of breathing and support to the level at which it becomes an almost automatic thing that you don't even have to think about it.
I think in order to make any new element to singing a part of the technique, it's like any habit. I think most habits are said to take at least a month before they become part of your existence.
So that then you're free to do all the other fun things, which are making music and characterizing and colouring the words and thinking of the text and phrasing and dynamics and all these things. Being a musician, being an artist, you can't, when you're in the throes of performing, be constantly thinking about how you're breathing and supporting and whether these things should be automatic. It needs to sound natural and fluent when you're singing it. At least you have a working knowledge of the language in a way that you, certainly from a pronunciation point of view, the idiom of the language and understanding of that as much as you can access, and that you can be as close to that language that you're going to be singing in as you are to your own language for that occasion, for working in that role.
I'm sort of working with the words and trying to make them think about the characters and how to best portray these characters and how to think about these people being the most interesting people they can be from the text and the music they're given.
Okay, so on sleep, you have this amazing chord underneath. Yeah, you have that chord when you sing the word sleep. And then at that moment, you're like, wow, I feel different, I don't know what's happened to me, but something's happened to me and it's bloody amazing, okay, on that one chord, okay?
Be curious, try things. You need to be interested and look at repertoire. I mean, the repertoire that's at your disposal is literally infinite. You're never going to be able to cover all the repertoire available probably in 10 lifetimes. So, I mean, it's exciting to be able to go and delve into your repertoire, to see what suits you and what you like. And you're going to put your best foot forward. That's the whole point of it, is your calling card. So you want to be at your best. So one of the most important things in that is to do things, if you can, that you really love, and that you feel an association with, you feel close to. Because then you can communicate that better and convince people who are listening much better if you're convinced yourself. The preparation of your work is really important because time is of the essence very often. You might have a lot of work to do within the course of 12 months, maybe 3 or 4 roles to learn. That's going to be an ongoing thing throughout your career. You never stop. So you have to organise that work, structure it, so you're ahead of the game as much as you possibly can be. Having a good voice teacher that you trust, having a good coach that you trust, somebody whose ears you trust and that you can feel confident in the work you're doing, in the preparation of your work.
And I think it's partially your jaw. As soon as the jaw gets involved, it pulls it off of that jaw.
Yes. Okay.
Much better.
You have to look after your instrument. You have to be sometimes sacrificing certain things in order to take care of yourself. Not sacrificing life. You have to have a life. You must live, because that also feeds in to your artistry. You know, what your experience of life is all part and parcel of what goes into what you're communicating in art. So you can't live in a cocoon, you know, and wrap yourself up and isolate yourself. Absolutely not. But, you know, within reason, take care.
By this point, they need to be able to filter the information, make their technique their own, and really become not just students, but artists. And that transition, it's difficult, but it's part of what we're doing here.
And to have the technical wherewithal so secure that then they're able to bring out their own individual artistry. Because that's the thing, is I think each singer is different. It's like DNA. There's always that much difference, even if they seem very similar. If I dare say there's a lot of psychology involved in what we do, because you're dealing with the psychological aspects of individuals to humans. And it's a sensitive issue very often, you know. This is an instrument that's part of your body. Right. You know, it's unique. So,
and it's our primary mode of expression in the world. And it can get very bound up with how you feel about yourself, how you feel about what you're doing, how you feel standing up there in front of all those people. Mm-hmm. It's very tricky. It's what makes it the most beautiful instrument, in my opinion, but also the most difficult to master.